Coming up on BYU basketball with Mark Pope, the Cougar Hoopsters are on a roll, 8-0 on the season and rising up the rankings with an in-state tilt on tap this Saturday in Salt Lake City. We're catching up with the coach and Trevin Knell coming up next on BYUtv and ESPN+.
BYU basketball with Mark Pope, presented by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 30 years.
And here we go, yes! Let's go. Good evening once again. Hello, Cougar Nation. Hello, studio audience. We're back inside Studio C at the BYU Broadcasting Building in beautiful Provo, Utah for our latest edition of BYU Basketball with Mark Pope, hashtag Pope Show on social media. Great to have you with us, whether in our studio audience or elsewhere. We are live and on demand via the BYU TV and BYU radio apps and ESPN+. Coming up on tonight's show, we will look back on two more wins for BYU to get to 8-0 on this young season. We'll look ahead to BYU and Utah this Saturday. Jackson Robinson joins us inside the film room. Our in-studio guest tonight is Trevin Knell, and he may have a special guest with him. We'll have a game night segment with the coach and Trevin and have some social media Q&A for both of them as well. Well, he is 5 wins away from becoming the 9th BYU head coach to hit the 100-win plateau with the Cougs. He's a man with boundless energy and flawless sideline tailoring. He's the head coach of your BYU basketball Cougars, Mark Pope. Hello, my friend.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Back to no, we got pants. Are we pants or sweats?
These are like
fitness
sweats?
pants. Yeah, but they're a little fancier than just plain sweats.
Or pets.
Looking for the right word. It was a few weeks ago where you came, and the big news of the
They're
night
like
was
a hybrid.
Yeah, but the big news of the week was like you were in pants and not sweats, because normally you're a sweats guy. So we're kind of in the hybrid tonight.
If I can actually get pants on anytime during the week besides games, it's a miracle, actually.
Well, good to see you once again, by the way. And the mugs have returned.
We have missed Greg. I miss you. Well, we guess
it was 1 week of missing me.
It seemed like it was a lot longer.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Yeah, just a week, but I'm back.
So happy to have you back.
Yeah,
I love the mugs.
Last week with this mug, by the way.
Yeah.
Next week, new mugs, new color scheme, and everything.
So you may know this, but the legendary story behind these mugs. Last year, my dear friend and mentor, my high school coach, Rich Belcher, came to the show. He actually came out to a game and came to the show. And as he was walking out, he kind of winked at me through the door and showed me that in his pocket he swiped our mug. But somehow magically the next week they were there. So we've been low on mugs is what it came down to. So normally we can come out for the show and there are 2 mugs just sitting here because that's how we roll. But tonight there were no mugs. But I also swiped a mug. I had one in my office. So I brought down a mug for rehearsal. Yes. And then, did you know that we had Leanne bring 2 mugs from home? Did you really?
She brought mugs from home.
So I actually swiped one of these mugs. There's one in my office.
Yes, this is actually your mug. Yeah.
So if you swipe a mug, you can be totally clear of conscience because that's what everybody's doing.
We're very transparent here, yes. Well, folks, it is now a time-honored tradition on this show that we take a moment at the start of the program. We take a deep cleansing breath. We ask the always intriguing question. What's on Mark's mind?
It does. It does. It makes you take a breath.
Yeah.
I love it.
Brings it home.
Okay, so something super exciting. I come bearing gifts, if you can believe that.
I did see that.
So just this week, we dropped our first of, Lee, what is it, a series of 4 different items at the BYU bookstore that are Dunk on Cancer gear. Am I allowed to say what they are? Okay, I don't remember them all, but so let me give you the whole story behind these. First of all, I'm going to give you that so you can try it on.
I appreciate
you
that.
can leave the tag. I guess the kids these days, they like to leave the tag on.
I'm not a kid.
Is that not true?
I'm leaving the tag on, yeah.
Tell me that's not good looking. What? So I don't know if I can do the tag. Lee, can I do the tag or do I need to take it off? Okay, I'm gonna take it off. Lee is definitely not confident in my swag quotient, so we'll go old school. I like that. So here's the story behind these hats. So these dropped at the BYU bookstore. We've partnered with the Simmons Center for Cancer Research, which is this incredible organization on BYU's campus, Leanne Pope, Dunk on Cancer, and the BYU bookstore. And so every dollar of proceeds that that they earn by selling these hats goes to the Simmons Center for Cancer Research through Dunk on Cancer. And Leanne and the Dunk on Cancer family is in the process of, babe, we're almost to $4 million, almost to $3 million raised. And yeah. And among the hundreds of stories, once a year, we have a formal dinner that's put on by the Simmons Center for Cancer Research. And for the first time, I got to meet Dan Simmons this past dinner, who is a legend here at BYU in all types of scientific research. And then the gentleman we sat by, Mr. Beers, what was his first name? Oh, I'm so embarrassed, I can't remember. We sat at this table and talked to these people that are surrounding Simmons Center for Cancer Research, and heard about the real-time medical trials that they have going on that are going to alter cancer treatment forever, and it's really incredible. So I'm making a plea that if you're looking for a swaggy, swagalicious cap, BYU Dunk on Cancer, it would go towards a great cause. So
proceeds from the gear you buy at the BYU store goes to Dunk on Cancer. And you say this is the first of, you said, 4 items of gear?
Yes, so here's the deal. So we started with the hats. We're going to have some socks. And then we're bringing it home with the Stanley Cups. So your husbands, don't tell your wives, maybe. And then we're going to fish out with a sweatshirt. So appreciate you guys. It's unbelievable gear. It makes a huge difference. It's something near and dear to Leanne and my heart. Like, if you feel like this fight on cancer is going nowhere, you're wrong. Like, the strides being made are mind-boggling. It's really exciting, and we're doing good together. So thanks for your help on that.
Last year, Leanne was kind enough to get me the Dunk on Cancer hoodie from last year with the cool BYU logo. I wore it yesterday.
Yeah,
it's a regular item in the wardrobe. All right, so...
Wait, I need more time.
Okay.
Because I believe there's a young man here named Tyler Hansen. Is that true? Tyler Hansen, come on, man, come on.
Down, Tyler Hansen.
So here's the deal. Like, I'm not sure that I'm good looking enough to inspire anybody to buy this hat. Greg certainly is. But Tyler, I'm a good friend with his uncle. I got a ton of love for you, baby. All right? So listen, will you put this on and just smile at the camera? This is why you need to buy.
You can keep the tag on.
This swaggy hat right here. Thank you, Tyler.
Good job. Tyler, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. You got another hat left.
I know. I'm just like, I'm going to kind of read the audience. I'm going to kind of feel the vibe.
He's going to read the room. This could happen during a commercial break. You never know what's going to pop up.
I was nervous because our guest player today gets really sensitive and emotional if he doesn't get a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So I was like,
it might be for him.
I actually forgot. So I called back to the office. I'm like, guys, you got to bring your 4th hat. I'm kidding, of course, but.
I hope he doesn't expect it now because you said that.
There is no chance that he is listening.
BYU men's basketball is the #1 team in the nation in the net ranking. Hello. Yeah. How about that? You know, it's like Christmas morning for hoops nerds is when the first net comes out.
Yep.
You know, and it came out this week, and we saw BYU was 2 in the debut, and then a couple nights later, you're up to #1. And these things fluctuate throughout the course of the season, but you really can't trick the numbers. They are what they are, and they're showing that BYU is playing some of the best basketball in the country right now.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. It's it's a tremendous accomplishment by our guys, and it was not one of our goals. It still continues to not be one of our goals, but you know, you reach these little milestones and you get to put them in your pocket forever. And there's never been a team in BYU history that's been #1 in the net, partly because it's only been in existence for the last 5 years. but hey.
Yes.
And
First is first.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the truth is there's only one team in the country right now that has earned the honor to be the #1 team in the net rankings, and we're super proud of it. So it just is exactly what it is. We're really excited. These guys should be really proud. It's not even on the top 10 of the list of things we're trying to accomplish, but hopefully for Cougar fans and for our guys, it's a fun treat. And let's go, man. We got another big game Saturday and another big game Wednesday, and we're excited to roll.
Speaking of top 10, you're top 10 in Ken Pomeroy's ratings, the coaches polls and the AP poll, you're a top 15 team there. So in a short span of time, you've opened a lot of eyes around the country.
Yeah, it's been exciting to me how our guys have done it too. I was talking to one of the members of the squad. We have 4 gentlemen that are PhDs in the clinical psychology program. They're faculty members. And so they've taken it upon themselves to fix me. And I'm so grateful for that. And in a long conversation today, we just had this conversation about how our team is functioning different than a lot of teams in college basketball, just in the sense of there's kind of a strong link or a star link team, and then there's a weak link team, and the weak link team is going to be defined by the weakest link. And we are very comfortably living in that space right now. We always talk about getting as many 5-on-3 possessions as we can every area. And this is a community effort. It is a team effort. And through 8 games, our guys have been spectacular about refusing to be the weak link, meaning every guy is trying their best to do exactly their job on every single possession. And that makes us really special. And that is actually a great way to represent BYU and what we stand for and how we live. And super proud of the guys. And, it only gets harder from here. So let's go.
Among the stats that have led you to where you are, and there are some #1 rankings out there, and whether it's 3-pointers attempted or 3-pointers made or bench points per game, BYU's #1 on all those things right now. What's the most important, if you had to distill it down to 1 or 2 things that are really making this team go right now?
Well, our newest metric that we love is offensive rebounding. It's so important because if you guys have watched our games, we've lost our mind. We just shoot the ball as fast as we possibly can. And, we're trying to get between 30 and 35 threes a game, which is insane. I think the #1 3-point field goal attempt last year was 29 something. I could be off by 1. But you only do that if you're great on the offensive glass. And so I've talked about this a lot, but Coach Fennell, who's in his 2nd year with us from Louisville, one of our assistant coaches is doing a tremendous job, brought this concept to us this summer, this different way to attack the offensive glass. And we all shook our heads and be like, that's the dumbest thing we've ever heard. There is no chance that will ever work. And we're not taking a risk on it either. And over time, we considered it more and more, and then Keegan Brown jumped on board. He's like, no, Coach, this is genius.
Keegan's your analytics head, right?
Analytics. He, like I always say, he uses all the words that I don't understand, so I can't argue with him. I'm just like, okay, fine.
You say so.
And then we actually reached out to some coaches that we know around the world, actually, that have tried it, and they were unanimous, like, yeah, we thought it was a great idea, and then we bailed 2 weeks in because we just couldn't get our guys to do it. And that is something spectacular about BYU right now, is our guys are doing it, man. And so, we can't we can't be a 27-by-50 team the way we're trying to be and attack the 3-point line the way we're trying to without this full commitment to the offensive glass. And our guys have done it. It's been beautiful. And that's just one example of all the different areas where our guys have really tried to do this together as a team.
Before I get to highlights, there's another number I want to bring up. It's a top 20 number. You're 16th in attendance right now, per game attendance. You played 5 home games.
Thank you, guys.
You've won 5 home games.
Might I add that the numbers just came in. We are 16th in the country in home attendance at our games and #1 in studio audience attendance at our coaches show.
Yes, it's
so
actually
thank
true.
you guys for making that happen.
And that's the number a lot of coaches nationally are just trying to hit.
Yes, it is.
They're really concerned about
Chase
that.
us, guys. Chase us.
How's your personal schedule these days? Because with the success comes attention. Are you squeezing more interviews in? More people come on to talk to you?
We're still so early in the season. But, one of the beautiful things is as you get closer to the season, Coach Rose, my mentor, used to always talk about the blue dots. I don't know if they still do, but on our digital calendars, the blue dots show up for all the things that we have to do. And magically, as we get into the depths of the season, some of the blue dots start to fade away just of necessity, and so we get to dial in on the grind. Now, with that said, we still have a lot of stuff to do, but I'm enjoying it.
All right, our show last week was on the eve of BYU's game against Fresno State at the Delta Center. Cougars have a great history in that building, and they got great crowd support as well last Friday. Let's look back and see some of the highlights and stats presented by Intermountain Health. This was BYU and Fresno State on a Friday night in downtown Salt Lake City, and The Rock and a bunch of other BYU fans showed up to watch Spencer Johnson get you going.
Yeah, it was awesome. Spencer had an unbelievable game in every facet of the game, actually. We had talked about some defensive metrics where he really wanted to grow, and he certainly did, and then he did on the offensive side too. And you just see Ali Khalifa working his magic as a passer. How fun is Ali to watch, guys? Like, what? I mean, and we ran 4 straight post catches. We ran every different play we had to get Spencer Johnson a post catch, back to back to back to back, and he delivered on every single one. Jackson Robinson had a terrific game. Richie Saunders, as always, is bringing just such elite energy on both ends of the floor. And this is a good Fresno State team. The truth is they probably haven't exactly found themselves yet, but their pieces are really good, and they're going to have a good season. I actually like the team. This is a really big win for us and very important.
BYU wins it by 29 last weekend at the Delta Center. Cougs get back on the winning track in downtown Salt Lake City. You see the numbers that bore out in that 85-56 victory. So that was the first game of the weekend. We'll call the back end of the weekend the second game against Evansville, which we'll get to in a second. But when we'll see, too, in the Evansville highlights, you ended the first half in Salt Lake with the Ali backdoor, and you ran a similar play to end half number 1 on Tuesday against Evansville. Yep. If you're going to have to get a set and you need a shot, he's been a pretty important part of what you want to run there.
Yeah, he makes things, especially in a half-court situation where everybody's set and everybody is, you get all kind of different offensive possessions. A lot of ours are in transition. Sometimes you get them from different spaces. Sometimes you have different personnel. Sometimes you get a team in rotations. But a lot of times at the end of half, in a tight situation, you end up with the defense sitting and waiting and the offense coming. And Ali just adds such an incredible dimension to what we do. He allows our guys to really cut freely, and our guys are beginning to believe that if they finish the last 30% of their cut, that magically they're going to find a gift under the Christmas tree, and he seems to do that every single time. It's awesome.
A pass from the magician himself. All right.
Did you see how I weaved in Christmas with that?
That was good. He's that kind of coach, folks. The win over Fresno State was BYU's 3rd consecutive game and 3rd straight win outside of the Marriott Center. The Cougs were then back in Provo for their first home game in 2.5 weeks as they welcomed the Evansville Purple Aces to Provo this past Tuesday night. BYU coming in 7-0. The improved Aces were 7-1 coming in. Let's see how it all went down with the highlights and stats again presented by Intermountain Health. BYU and Evansville head coach David Ragland in his 2nd year. And they went from 5 wins all of last season to already 7 coming into this game. Yeah,
and they brought in some new talent that's actually really good. One absolutely terrific player they got out of D2 or NII or somewhere who's been really fantastic. I'll just talk about David Ragland for a minute. Like, what a great young coach he is. He was with Craig Smith, mentored by Craig at Utah State, and is just building an incredible career. And he had this team rolling. You just saw Noah Waterman make a terrific shot. He started the game with a corner 3, played great, but his greatest contribution was on the defensive end, matching up against one of the top scorers in the country, really, averaging over 18 points a game, and did an unbelievable job containing him. It was a great team effort. Unbelievable job by our guys to remain focused against a team that's really hard to guard. You guys probably hear people throw around this idea of a Princeton offense all the time, and it's so hard to guard. And this is a team, Coach Ragland has these guys really executing at a high level, a record of 7-1 coming in, including right before they came to us, they won at Northern Iowa, which if you're a basketball fan, you know how good that program is. And so we were really excited to get out of there with a win against a terrific team.
Coach Ragland was happy with his assist-to-turnover number, 16-9, and you're putting up a 26-8, and that ratio has been really good for you this year.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Our guys were really committed all summer. It was really fun to watch our team because in the spring we talked about it was something that's hamstrung us all season last year with a very young team. We just kept, we're a giving community here at BYU, and we kept giving the other team the ball. Well, that's not actually part of the gospel, guys. and so our guys in the spring, as we started, the workouts we could have with a real focus on protecting the ball and making simpler plays and wiser decisions, really thinking the game. And so we actually were having our guys run after every single turnover. It didn't matter if it was one-on-one. It didn't matter if it was in a passing drill. Our guys would run. And what's been really special about this team is after about a month, you saw the coaches start to fade away. And then the whole rest of the summer, it was the players that were holding each other accountable, throwing guys on the line for turnover of the ball. And that's actually been a huge part of our early successes, that our players are owning this, and it's really their team, and they're the ones that care about it. It's their voices and their accountability, and we're blessed to have some really, really special growing leaders on this team.
Last year's turnover rate for your team was over 20%. It's under 15 right now. That's a big difference.
It's a massive difference, and anytime we can stay, our goal is to be under 12. We're averaging, I think, just right around 11 right now, but the last 2 games we've been in single-digit turnovers, and that's really, really important.
Well, through 8 games, Jackson Robinson leads BYU in points per game, field goals made, 3-pointers made. He's made all of his free throws. He's second on the team in steals, and he's doing it all as part of the best bench brigade in all of college basketball. And after Friday's win over Fresno State before the Evansville game, Jackson sat down with our Jerem Jordan inside the film room.
All right, Jax. Delta Center, black jerseys, undefeated. There was a lot of swag going into this one, and you guys delivered. What was it like to play that kind of game on that court?
I mean, it was a great experience. We knew we couldn't come in and look down on our opponent. We had to, play just like we would with our other team. So we came in with a killer mindset and got the job done. Okay,
career high 24 for you. Got to feel good. You were shooting deep in this one, and let's look at a handoff from Atiki straight away from 3.
Yeah, so Trey did a good job of just screening away. He kicked it to Atiki. We started out in the wide. Richie curled it. And Trey made a nice pass, went away to screen. I just came off. The guy went under the screen twice, and I had to shoot that. So
that's a deep 3 too. How'd you handle the lines? Because I know you guys put down the NBA line in the annex in Marriott Center last week, but you didn't really care. You were just shooting behind the NBA line.
Yeah, I honestly don't pay too much attention to it. When I shoot it, it's going up, so it doesn't matter where I'm at on the floor. I know I'm gonna make it.
And a defender doesn't want to guard you that far out either, right?
I don't think so, or they would have been out there.
Okay, end of the first half. We've heard about Ali Khalifa's amazing passing. We saw it on display in this one. Wrap around to you, nice curl by you to the bucket.
So Ali did a good job of setting up my man, and I had to curl across because there was no bottom. Spencer's man is hugged up on the far side, and so I just curl around Ali for a quick, easy layup at the end of the half.
And you got to point at the guy that passed to you immediately, right?
Exactly.
Hey, that was you, baby.
Exactly.
That was you. Okay, another play here. This is defense. You guys are playing amazing defense. Spencer Johnson with the poke, and then you got to throw it down to him for the layup.
Spencer had an amazing defensive game. Obviously, everybody knows that he had a great offensive game, but just right here, he kind of set up his man thinking, because number 3 for Fresno State was snaking these screens a lot of the time, and Spencer realized it late here in the second half, and he poked that ball free, and I just happened to be in the right spot, and he took off.
Easiest assist for you of the game?
Exactly.
Okay, and then last but not least, you were feeling it from 3. You made 6 of 8. You're in front of your bench almost right there, deep 3. Again, I don't think anyone wants to guard you this far out, and you make another one.
It's not too much to this play, just rose up. Richie found me, and my man wasn't guarding me, so it was an easy bucket.
Okay, beginning of the week, you're number 2 in the net, number 14 in the AP poll, number 8 in Ken Palm. These are all awesome metrics. What's your favorite one of those?
I don't have a favorite, to be honest. Just looking on to the next game, just making sure that we're all still locked in. Numbers only go so far. You still have to go out there and produce. So just making sure that we go out and play our best game each and every night, knowing that every game is going to be harder and harder is the main thing.
Okay, well, keep it going, man. You guys are playing great. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All right, great feature. What's the value of having your leading scorer be part of the second wave of players?
I mean, there's so much to say about Jax. First of all, if you caught that, he said there wasn't much to this play. I just caught the ball and my man wasn't really guarding me. Well, Jax was standing at the hash with his heels almost touching the sideline at like 30 feet. I don't think Jax ever thinks anybody's guarding him. But it's a really beautiful thing when you have a young man who's as talented and capable and playing at a high level, that first of all, over the course of the summer, buys in so much to working hard to build relationships. I had a bunch of guys on my team, probably led by Trevin Knell, Jackson Robinson, and several other guys that worked so hard to build relationships off the court with each other this summer, which we're seeing pay dividends right now. And then him contributing so much to this game, and then him just being like, I don't care, start me, bring me off the bench. Nobody's going to guard me anyway. I'll take all the shots, and he's just doing an unbelievable job for us. And it is something to behold, to have this group coming off the bench and it is like a massive second wave tsunami that comes, and it really makes a difference for us. And clearly he's the leader of, in a lot of ways, this whole team, but certainly having him come in off the bench and do that is it's jarring for our opponent, and it's been really important for us. And I don't know if he'll come off the bench or start in the future, but the beautiful thing is he doesn't care. He's just like, I just want to go hoop, and I want to go help my team win. And guys like that with that mentality are priceless.
How rewarding is it to go down the roster and you include Jackson in this list and go, well, he got better, he got better, he got better, he got better, like from last year's team to this?
It is, coaching is teaching, coaching is parenting. It's all the same. Like, we all know what that is. And the best part of it is getting to bear witness to, in my case, to these young men be able to grow into something they didn't even know they could be. And to grow to a confidence level they didn't even know they could achieve. And it just is, it's the best part of the job. And so Leanne and I love it. Like, that's how we mark our time is by the growth in these young men, and it's really spectacular. And you talk about the guys on our team. I mean, Noah Waterman, last game at 12-8 and 1-0. And just with urgency every single second, right? And what Jax has done, and Richie Saunders has doubled up every single statistical category, and Dallin Hall is now, leading the, number one team in the net in the country, and Trey Stewart saved us, the first 4 or 5 games of the season, and I mean, I could keep going down the list of how incredible it's been to watch these guys grow, but I'm really proud of them.
All right, break time. As we break, this is your reminder that for your day-to-day Cougar Sports play-by-play, watch BYU Sports Nation with Spencer Linton and Jerem Jordan weekdays, noon Eastern on BYUtv and BYU Radio. When we come back, we're joined in Studio C by Trevin Knell as BYU basketball with Mark Pope continues. Stay with us.
BYU basketball with Mark Pope is presented by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 30 years, and Intermountain Health, official medical provider for BYU athletics.
Welcome back to BYU basketball with Mark Pope. What a fine crowd we have here tonight.
It's unbelievable. Cougar Nation, there's nothing like it.
Tuesday night at the Marriott Center, our next guest set his BYU career highs in 2 categories, and neither of them have anything to do with his shooting talents, which are exceptional. Instead, Trevin Knell set his BYU single-game highs in assists and rebounds, testament to his overall game and the overall strength of this season's team. Please welcome into Studio C our special guest, Trevin Knell.
What's up? Of course. I saw you with the hat on.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
Oh, that's for you right there.
That's
Here,
big time.
just throw it on for just a second, because you'll be the real model.
I really put it on?
What? Look at that. you can tell Trevin's done this before because he put it on and they kind of gave that little shoulder deal, right?
Yeah, like I got it.
That's really good. That's
And
good.
by the way, he is of the age group where the tag can stay on.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Easy on that one.
You good?
I'm great. Super excited to be here.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm excited and ready to roll, so big one this Saturday.
Huge one this Saturday. We'll get to that in a little
You
bit.
can tell that practice was hard because I've never heard Trevin say so few words ever.
He's winded.
By the way, this setup is amazing.
I know. It gets better every year,
My
it feels
gosh.
like. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's big time.
How about all the
I know.
it's nice. And these beautiful people.
Beautiful
It's like we're in the club here.
These guys.
Yeah.
Love this.
Did you bring a special guest with you tonight as well?
I did. He's here.
Where is he?
He's right there.
He?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
let's go. Wait, introduce Tatum first. Introduce
This is
Tatum.
my beautiful wife.
Hi.
By the way, that jacket she's sporting, that's got your number on it,
It
and
is
Cougs
tough.
on the back.
It is tough.
That is
Yep.
fire.
That is very nice. Who do we have here?
So this is our new family member.
Just said Theo on the screen, so I'm
Yep.
guessing that's his name. Yeah.
He is Theo. He's a toy poodle. We've had him for 5 days, so it's all super new.
Wait, he's a toy poodle or a real poodle?
He's a poodle, but he's considered a
Fair,
toy.
fair.
But yeah, so we've had him for 5 days. He's actually doing really good.
Oh, he's nervous right now.
He's shaking. He's shaking in his
Yeah.
boots. But he is the cutest little thing. We started an Instagram. If you guys want to go follow, it's Theodore Knell.
Is that true?
He's got his own Insta.
Got his own
Please,
stuff.
everybody follow Theodore Knell. Please.
But yeah, so he's literally the best dog right now.
Well, you've got 2 follows to take care of, people. At Coach Mark Pope is one of them, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then Theodore Knell for the dog.
Theodore Knell, you can follow him
Okay.
over me. That's even better.
Hey, please, can we please get Theo's followers above Trevin's? Because that would be so fantastic.
That'd be awesome.
What kind of training is he involved in right now?
He's doing crate training, which he did great today. He's learned sit, and
Can you
he's
show us? You don't dare show us.
yeah, I don't dare show him.
Okay,
He's
okay.
scared.
Okay.
And then he's doing really good on his old potty training. So
Very nice.
like a little baby. So it's testing us.
It is. It's good. It's a good primer.
It is
It's good prep
great-
work for you
great
guys.
Prep work.
Right.
So we were talking about Trevin coming on the show yesterday, actually in a production meeting, and I had heard, and Tatum, you can verify if this is true, but how long have we had Theo?
You said 5 days?
5 days.
5 days. And what I have heard, I can't totally say this is true, but Trevin races home after practice, and all he does is lay on the floor and play with Theo. Is this true? It's I see. There you go. There you go.
And we've got his Insta handle up there right now,
There you
so
go.
he's gonna get
See,
some.
there you go.
And he's clearly enthused about that.
That is great.
He's excited. He's actually calmed down a little bit.
That
So.
is so great.
He'll be right at home with you. This is great. 8-0, start to the season. Your thoughts?
Hey, yeah, it's like we said, like we're just keeping the standard. So our whole prep and everything that goes into it, it's just talking about like no matter who we play, what gym we're in, if there's fans, if there's no fans, like we're going out there and we're competing as hard as we can. We're trusting each other and we're like following this, like the scheme that we have for the prep and the scout. But at the end of the day, like I always tell everybody, like this team's special. I always like to quote Yoli and say like this season's like a movie, but like I 100% believe like everything we've been through last year, everything through the summer has all like led up to this point, and like basketball's so fun with this team, and like we're out there, we're like Coach Pope in last game, he's like, hey, how fun is transition, you know, and so like the game is super fun when you play with guys that you're willing to like run through a brick wall for, right? And so just like how we are with each other and how we are off the court, like we do stuff together. So it's just, it brings me back to my freshman year with that tight-knit senior group that we had, so.
Coach Pope hit on something before you came on about how they would be running certain drills in the offseason. I think he focused on the turnover part of it, where you were running after turnovers. And after a while, he said the coaches didn't even have to make you guys do it. It was players making players do it. And how much does player ownership play into what you guys are doing right now?
I think it's everything. Like, Coach really wants us to have a player-led program. And so, like Coach said, like, we got to the point where we would throw the ball and we weren't running. Like, Coach would be like, hey, run no play. And we're like, no, we got to run down back because we have to value that ball so much more. And I think it's really showing throughout this, this streak that we have. And then, like, every time after huddles or, like, when there's a quick break, like, we bring guys together and the ref's yelling at us. We're like, hey.
I did notice
like,
that.
We're going to take our time for a second. Even we'll have a huddle before the game, and then we'll huddle again right before tip. So it's just like these little moments, these little things that really make a difference. And I think that's kind of what's catapulting like this player-led program.
It's unbelievable to watch these guys because a lot of credit goes to the assistant coaches and kind of like designating this time where after every possession, after we go here, there, back, whatever, our guys huddle in and they go communicate with each other about what they're seeing, and the coach just stands and listens as we do over. But I'm wise to you guys. So we usually put we have a clock. Everything is timed in practice, everything. So we have an 8-minute segment, a 12-minute segment, 6, it goes like clockwork. Well, these huddles keep getting longer and longer and longer.
You're taking time out of the drill.
Hey, it's a vet move.
It's a vet move.
Is that.
It is a vet
When
move.
you've been in here as long as I have, it's a vet move.
Trev's like, guys, huddle up. Somebody say something. Someone say something.
One of the benefits of getting old. So speaking of practice, stat tracking in practice. How much value is there in that? Because you track a lot of stuff. It's not just go play hard, play like you're playing a game. There's a lot of stuff going on, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, it just adds to the whole competitive nature of this team. Like I've had a lot of people come up to me and be like, "Hey, you guys, I love how you guys compete." I think that stems from these stats that we kind of track, and like the stats are all stuff from the summer, and it's like, okay, I see my stats, I can compare it a little bit to some other guys. How can I improve as a player? And so it's super fun to compete. It's super fun to dish out a little talk to some other guys. Like me and Noah always banter a little bit, but it's really stems from like how competitive we are, and I think these stats really help us to keep our focus and like what matters to what coach wants and what matters to help us win, and so it just that competitive nature kind of helps.
By the way, our show producer Brett was in my ear a moment ago telling me that Theo's Insta numbers are already going up.
There we go.
So it's already happening.
I love
I'm
that.
very excited about that.
Look
at you.
When you sat down, one of the first things you said was you're looking forward to a big game on Saturday. After the Evansville game, both Coach and you were asked about the Utah game. Let's roll the tape here and see what Coach and Trevin had to say about Saturday.
Oh no.
That's fine.
They got incredible size. They can really shoot the ball. Craig does an unbelievable job coaching them in a great arena. So it's like in-state games, man. They're magic. Like you just look forward to them because it's going to be an all-out brawl. And I don't use brawl anymore. It's going to be super, super competitive. And will you guys edit that out of the comments? It's be super, super competitive, like it should be. It's in-state games. That's why in-state games are special. I think they're fun for the fans, and it's every game for us is so huge right now, and we love it. We can't wait to get to it, and we have a lot of confidence in our guys.
It's gonna be a fun game, and I feel like we're gonna be ready for that fight.
No, not fight.
Okay, that competitive outbreak.
We guys edit out the fight. We're trying to really
It's gonna be a
careful
fight,
with our
guys.
language.
I love it. Those are BYU-Utah games. Those are the words that naturally come to mind in those kind of atmospheres. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It's super fun, and I'll be playing against guys that I grew up with playing. Like Brandon Carlson was on my AU team, so it's gonna be fun to play against him again. And Utah's Utah, so like I know it's just gonna be a competitive match.
Very competitive, yes. And you said whether there's no fans or fans, there'll be a lot of fans. Like what I heard today is that it got to a sellout or will be close to it by game time. So that'll just amp it up. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I hope I know there's a saying like I hope we paint the Huntsman royal. Like let's bring it. Let's bring the Rock. Let's bring everybody, and let's make it a home game.
Coach, you looking forward to it?
Trev gets me hyped. Let's go. I love it. Like in-state games are special. Anytime you get to play an in-state team, it just is great for community. It's great for fan bases. It's great for players. If you haven't grown up played against each other, you play against each other in the summer, and so we love it. And Utah's a good team. It's a massive challenge for us, and it's the next step in the season. And it sounds like the gym's going to be jumping, and that's great. Like let's go.
All right, the game night portion of this show is coming up next. Fun and games with the coach and Trevin when BYU basketball with Mark Pope continues. Stay with us.
He's one more fun with me than me.
There's never.
Exactly.
Welcome back to BYU basketball with Mark Pope, presented by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 30 years. All right, we're back in Studio C for tonight's game night portion of the program, and tonight we have a game called Shot Shadows. Shot Shadows. We have the shot doctor, Trevin Knell, here. And so we thought we'd put his keen eye to the ultimate test. We're going to show you, Trevin, a clip of one of your teammates shooting.
Oh, I got this.
But the clip has been altered so that the shooter looks like a shadow or a silhouette. Okay, and your goal tonight is to simply guess who the shooter is. Are you ready?
Yes, just to let you guys know I lost last time I played coach in something. So.
This is so good.
But I think
so
I'm going to beat him in this.
First of all, Hema, way to step up our game. I'm excited.
Great production
They're
involved
graphic.
here. All right, so we're going to see a teammate and his silhouette shooting. Roll number one.
Don't say anything.
No, I won't.
I gotta look back here. Oh, I already got it. You want me to say it?
Yeah.
It's Jackson Robinson.
That's too easy.
Whoa. He was pretty quick on that one.
Me and Deuce are like this, so.
All right,
that's
so we're
pretty
going to
easy.
see the reveal.
It's the
oh,
turn
Jackson
around fade.
Look at that. That was
Easy.
no trouble whatsoever.
If you saw in this game against Evansville, Jax and Trev were having like their own little personal three-point shooting party, like just back and forth to each other. It was so fun actually to watch.
All right, shooter number 2.
I gotta look back here. This bigger screen.
Shooter number 2.
I already know it. Spencer Johnson.
Whoa. Again, he's really quick on these.
Yep.
And the
He's a
reveal.
shot doctor.
Yep. Spencer Johnson. Well done. Yep, there we go.
Hey, he didn't even know. He was second guessing it.
I think we're getting a sense on how this is gonna go tonight. All right, we're ready with number 3 back in the control room. Shooter number 3 for Trevin to check out.
Oh, this one's tough.
Because it's all blurred together.
Okay, I think I have it. I want to say Ali.
He says Ali Khalifa. And the
I
big
wanna say
reveal,
Ali.
the big reveal here
Oh, my
shows
goodness,
it's
Brad.
Ali Khalifa. Yes, good job.
It's a smooth stroke.
How fun was to see him drain that three in that
That's
stroke. Boy, watch out. He was a 40% three-point shooter last year on 150. He could shoot it.
You shoot it, shoot it.
The offensive numbers will come along this year, no doubt. Shooter number 4.
This is oh my goodness, this is D Hall, but this is a between shot. D Hall. Okay.
So he says Dallin Hall. You have
It's
no
a
doubts about
transition.
that.
Yeah, it's
Okay?
Dallin Hall for sure.
All right, pull up for Dallin Hall, and it's Dallin Hall.
Go.
I'm telling you, player-led program.
Exactly.
Amen.
I think we have
Amen.
5 more for you. Shooter number 5.
Wow.
Shooter
We're
number
good.
5 for Trevin Knell.
You're getting rid of him?
Yeah, process elimination.
Oh, I know that. That's my boy, Stewie. Trey Stewart.
Stewart says Trevin Knell. And the big reveal shows that it is indeed
Trey Stewart.
Trey Stewart.
Fun fact, we actually try to mimic each other's shots during practice, but like before practice.
Yeah, not to.
Look at Trevin down here. Yeah.
All right, shooter number 6.
Jeez.
That's a good finish.
I know. I think
through.
one of mine is going to be up there, and I'm not going to get it, but it looks like. Oh, that one's a great shot, though. I want to say it's Townsend triple, but I
He
don't
says
think.
Townsend triple.
I don't know.
Now, that's a little deeper down the bench, and it's kind of an unconventional pace.
Oh
Townsend
my
triple.
God! Oh my God! Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Tripp gave an elite level pregame speech before the game on Evansville, too.
He did.
Number 7. There's not a shot that Trevin doesn't know.
Oh, this is a J-Mac special. This might be J-Mac sleeve, though.
Sleeve J-Mac?
Sleeve J-Mac was
All right, he
different.
says Jared McGregor. It's Jared McGregor.
So, I don't know if you can run that back, but you see the ball hasn't even left his hands, and our guys are going crazy.
We're going crazy
Look at
on the
Trevin. No, they're already
We're
celebrating.
already standing up.
By the way, Jared McGregor last season in this, 80% from 3 in
Pretty
games. He's
awesome,
4 for
isn't it?
5
Yeah.
in games from 3.
He's
Shooter number 8. Show yourself. Shooter number 8. Roll it. Let me catch up with it in just a second. Shooter number 8.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is for sure. You know, the
Yes.
shot doctor special. That is Trevin Knell.
He says that's himself.
That is me.
Is that Trevin?
That is me.
It is Trevin Knell. Yes.
You saw the form. You saw the form.
Look at Noah going a wedge from the three-point line.
Now this last one, little shorter clip. Got to be quick on this one. You got to really focus the
Coach Pope.
the brain on this one. Okay, let's go. Let's
That
see.
would be-
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that is hard.
It is really short.
Oh, that is my boy Foos. Fousseni Traore. That's Foos. I think so.
If you're right, I'm going to be amazed.
Oh, it's Coach. I knew it. I know. I said it first though.
You were right before you were right.
It was your inclination.
It was.
your
I said I
inclination.
think it's Coach.
So, but this is the thing. Is like,
Coach, look at your shot though.
it's a stroke, man.
That is a stroke.
Here's the thing, is Trevin, as we all have talked about so much, was our team shot doctor last year because he decided he was sitting out for a higher NIL payday. So he's like, I'm not playing
Who's holding out?
Yeah, smart. And so this is no joke that he picked all these out because he's watched our guys shoot thousands and thousands of shots and help mentor them on their shooting. And, we're at 39% right now as a team, and Trev can take a lot of credit for that. It's pretty awesome.
And there is kind of everyone's got their own way of doing things, but in the end, everything's really effective right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. Coach Pope really emphasized, like, we want to sprint the floor in transition. We want to get a lot more transition shots. And so, like, our whole emphasis is how fast can we pass the ball ahead, pass that half-court line. And if you're open, shoot it. If you're not, like, if you pass up an open shot, you might as well just take a seat right next to him.
When we come back, social media Q&A with Trevin and Coach when BYU basketball with Mark Pope continues. Stay with us.
I knew it was you. I knew it was you.
BYU basketball with Mark Pope is presented by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 30 years. Octo Health, decode your DNA, design your destiny. And Ken Garf, we hear you.
All right, it's back with Coach and Trev. By the way, Trevin, congrats on career highs in rebounds and assists in the same game on Tuesday.
You know what's funny about that? I promised Foos. Foos comes up to me and goes, hey, I need 10 tonight. I was like, I got you. I'll get you 10 rebounds. And he laughs. He goes, you're not getting 10 rebounds. I'm talking about threes. I want 10 threes. I said, Foos, you're not in the game. I got you. I got your 10 rebounds for you. So I looked up. I was like, Foos goes, hey, you're at 7. You need 3 more. He's like, just tell the team to tip it to you.
Well,
but yeah, it was funny.
The 10 still could be in your future.
It could be.
At some point.
It's all about what
All right,
Coach's
let's get
team,
to
so it
social
wasn't.
media for Coach and Trevin. Brought to you by Ken Garf, by the way. Ken Garf, we hear you. It's a rivalry question from Sarah. How do you prepare for rivalries like Utah? Is it business as usual, or is there extra work in practice for a game like this? Coach.
That's for you, Coach. Yeah.
We prepare as hard as we possibly can for every team. There's just no more we can do to prepare. And so it's the same. I think there's more talk around us. There's more community involvement just because of all that. But in terms of our preparation, we have to max out for every single game.
Yeah, I would 100% echo that. Like Coach talks about, even us as a group, we talk about how every game's going to be the hardest game we've ever played. So like every game is we have to dive into the scout. We have a just play, which is like this thing where we watch, our player personnel and who we might play against, like different players. And like every night we're sending texts, like making sure every guy's watching it. And so like it just goes over and beyond what just is on the court. There's so much preparation that goes on off the court as well.
Okay. By the way, if viewers are wondering what happened to Theo, Theo's with Tatum right now, right?
Theo's with Tatum.
Okay. All right.
I need to talk with my hands.
Okay. This next question is actually for Theo. He can't talk, so you'll have to answer for him. What's his favorite chew toy was the question.
His chew toy, we actually brought it, but it's like this, yeah, Tatum can show. Like it's this little, like,
there we go.
It's this little thing that he really likes right now, and you literally just, you run it around the house and you can throw it and he runs back to it, but when he first got here, his favorite thing to do was play with the tennis ball. It's like you throw it and he'll like play with his nose, like kind of do his own thing and then bring it back to you. So it's kind of been fun. He kind of already knows fetch. So it's kind of awesome.
Can we have Theo every week just kind of hanging out here by the side? That'd be great.
It's a good vibe.
This week's and one trivia question before the break. Here comes a trivia question for y'all. What's the BYU record for most consecutive wins to open a season? The answer is coming your way next on BYU Basketball with Mark Pope. Back in a minute. All right, back on the Pope Show and one trivia. Most consecutive wins to open a season. And Coach Pope nailed this during the break. The first 17 games of the 87-88 season were all wins. That is the trivia answer for tonight. Coming up less than 48 hours, BYU and Utah. The Cougs have won 15 of the last 20. We get to know the foe, presented by Octo Health. Decode your DNA, design your destiny. That's a look at the running Utes of Utah. They come in at 6-2 on the year. They're on a 3-game win streak, including a win in Moraga. Those aren't easy to get. They beat St. Mary's. They've won 3 straight. BYU's won 8 straight coming into the game. The broadcast schedule looks like this for BYU and Utah. It'll be on the Pac-12 networks and BYU Radio, and it'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Mountain, so a 4 o'clock radio pregame for BYU and Utah on the Hill. We like to finish the show with a little segment we like to call What Happened? We began this a long time ago, and we can't find a graceful way to just tell it goodbye, so we do it every week. Here's the What Happened for this week.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
A little, what?
Can Can you say how you say it?
What happened?
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
It kind of just doesn't really work without it.
No, it's great.
All right, you said we were talking about J-Mac, and you said it was that sleeve J. So here's the deal. This is the three-pointer the other night. I want you to give us some context to this. What happened? It was Jared McGregor. He makes the three. The bench excited, and a lot of the guys are making the sleeve. What is the deal with the sleeve? Everyone's making the sleeve motion here for J-Mac. Look at that. And then Dallin gets into it. Ollie gets into it.
I'm about to get into it too. I don't know if it's going to show the whole time, but yep, there it is.
Yep.
But you don't look. You're like you're wiping your arm with a bar of soap.
I know people are behind me, so I'm.
You got 10 seconds to explain it.
Okay, J-Mac comes in. We always tell him to shoot every single time he touches it when he comes in, but we told him before the game to wear a sleeve because it just looks cool. And he came out and hit a three, so we told him to have a sleeve every time.
And that's the rest of the story. Good night, folks. Have a great week. We'll see you. Go Kids.